In my home country, Cameroon, women usually wrap their hair like this when they are not happy, when they are going through some mourning period, when there is some kind of sad event. Usually, you will find women mostly covering their hair, just as I covered mine. Why am I having this hair covered? Because there is something happening in my country today that saddened my heart and the heart of most people from my nation. I am an indigene of Cameroon, and today we are having our presidential elections. Cameroon has known two presidents since its independence in 1960. Amadou Ahidjo was the first president. He was overthrown by Paul Biya, who has been there for 43 years. Yes, Paul Biya has been there for 43 good years. And Paul Biya is 92 years old. Before Paul Biya became the president of Cameroon, the constitution stated that a candidate or a president can't go in twice, and for each mandate he lasts for 4 years, which could be renewed once. So the maximum time a president could stay was 8 years. That's the maximum if he won the second election after his first 4 years. But at his second tenure, Bobia changed the constitution to make it 7 years. 7 good years as a president. He did not only change to that, but he also changed the fact that it could be renewed just once to the fact that it could be renewed as long as the people keep voting for him. Now you might want to say, but why do we keep voting for him? That is where the real story comes in. Before we go to the part, let's underline the fact that as Paul Biya is going in for the presidential election this year, this today, 12th of October 2025, he never bothered to make any campaign. Neither him, nor his associate, nor his other political main figures, the party main figures. We did not see them. But what we saw was this: people using a masquerade, not people, because these people do not do this on their own. The party did this using a masquerade of Paul Biya and his wife Chantal Biya to represent him for candidacy for campaign, for presidential campaign. And he did not have to convince people that he's a good president, that he's gonna make things better. This is just what he had to do. And we could see a lot more of videos like this of our fathers who go and take drinks and money. This money will be just about 5,000 francs CFA. Cameroon and many other African countries, especially the French-speaking African countries, they live under such a tyranny which the world can't imagine, which you all can imagine. People will be quick to say, why don't the people wake up? Why don't the people say enough? Why don't the youth wake up? But the people have tried. They have tried so many times. Let me take you back to the story which I left a few minutes ago. Now, Cameroon has been colonized by German, by English, by the British, and then by France. Among these colonizers, some were mild, some were very brutal. And the one which was very brutal is France. France used all kind of brutality during its colonial regime to make people suppress, to silence those who dare to oppose their regime, those who dare not to abide to their rules, those who dare to stand against their colonies. Or France was very, very brutal to all its old colonies. France was very brutal and merciless to all its colonies. Today, we say we are independent, but we all know that we are not even one bit. At the surface level, we are independent because we have a president who is managing things, but at the real level, underground, we all know that the president we have are not the one managing our nations. We all know that the president we have are only a representative of France. That is why it has been almost impossible to stop. That is why it has been impossible to vote out the president we have, no matter how much we want to change, no matter how much we decide to go out and vote. Vote or you don't vote, Bobia will win until the real master, France, decide to replace him with another person, which my suspicion are they might do that this time around, or they might just keep him there. The Cameroonian youth are certainly tired. The English-speaking part of Cameroon, because after the British left, one part of Cameroon was speaking English, then the French colonized another part, and then later on the two of them came together. So up to now we still have the English-speaking part of Cameroon and we have the French-speaking part. Some years back, about 10 years or 9 years or so, the English-speaking part, they got fed up and they decided to split up from Cameroon. And you all have no idea of what they have been going through up to today. You all have no idea of what they have been tagged, of what they have done to them just to silence them. And you know, as usual, when anybody rises to speak against the government, when anybody rises to do something which the government doesn't want, or let me say which France doesn't want, this is one of the tactics they have always been using. They tag you as the bad guy. Look for a bad name that will make everybody think you are the bad guy and give this name to you. And then suddenly the whole world turns against you and you find yourself alone. That's what has happened to the English-speaking part of Cameroon up to the day as at least the English-speaking part, they have been bold, they have been brave under the spell of fear. They have been under the trauma of centuries ago. They have been under the phobia of what the government could do to anybody who would dare to come out and talk against the government. I'm telling you guys, if I were in Cameroon, I would not dare to do this video because we all know what happened. It's a matter of 3 days for you and your entire family to disappear. Yes, that is what is happening in Cameroon. That is how drastic it is. No one dare to come and talk against the government. No one dare to come and say anything against the government. So they have so much put fear in the people that nobody even dare to riot. If you want to come together, if you say you want to ask for justice, they scatter you. People don't have the right to talk against the government. People don't have the right to say they won't change. You don't have that right. And they don't tell you in a gentle way that you don't have the right. They tell you in the most brutal way, in the most inhuman way. In the worst case scenario, you just disappear from the surface of Cameroon or from the surface of the earth. So these things put together, and with so many other mental limitations who has been put in people's mind for years, for many years, not just for the 42 years for which Paul Biya has been the president, but for many years after colonization, after slavery, we went into colonization. After colonization, we went into dictatorship. So it has been generations of trauma, of fear infused in people, to the point where nobody at this point in time even dare to talk. People have learned to cope. People are adapted to the system, and everybody on their own is just looking for whatever means they can do to survive, or whatever means they can do to leave the country, and they just let the government be doing what they are doing. Many people know that the government is really not the one in charge. In fact, many people know that France is the one in charge. France and their co are the one in charge of Cameroon, not only Cameroon, but all the other French-speaking countries, except for those in the AES, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, who have been bold enough, who have had bold men who came up and did not challenge the government, but challenged the real people who are behind every chaos happening in the country. That is why for most of us, we hail the president of these three nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and we look forward to having people like them who will rise up in all our African nations, especially the former French colonies, who are still somehow the French colonies. So in reaction to what is happening to Cameroon, we have some Cameroonians who are just fed up with the situation. We have seen other youth, other people from other nations who are really sympathizing with us Cameroonians, who are motivating us, motivating the youth to stand for their rights. We appreciate you all. We appreciate your consent. We appreciate every single positive thought, and we stay in the hope that someday very soon we will be able to finally take off our back the parasite which has been eating us deep for centuries. One day very soon we shall finally be able to have some people brave enough to challenge them and to clean them off our back, just as the AES did. Coming to the presidential election, the only opponent we have, I must tell you that usually we don't have any real challenging opponent, and we have seen many opponents, many presidential opponents being humiliated, being messed up publicly. And right now, the main opponent we have is this man. This is Chiroma Bakari. He has been working under Paul Biya for many decades. He was the prime minister. He has occupied top posts in the Republic of Cameroon under the reign of Paul Biya. And along the line, some years back, he had his own political party. And now he is going in as the opponent of Paul Biya. Now, tell me something. Do you guys think that somebody like this who has been under Paul Biya for decades, who knows the system, and I should tell you that he is 72 years old, Chiroma Bakari. He has been under President Paul Biya. He knows how the system works, and now he is coming out as the opponent of President Paul Biya, and he is the main proponent. Does this look anything good? Does this sound anything good? I found this coming here of this person who was able to pinpoint the real thing. But on the other hand, you have people expressing their feelings in messages like this, like this, like this, like this. And more so, I should tell you that there are many Cameroonians who are very happy, who want this man to remain the president, who says this man is the best president they have ever seen, who wants this man to be there till thy kingdom come, who would do everything for this man to be there. We don't know what reasoning they are using. We don't know what interest they are using, but definitely it is not an interest that serves the nation. It is not an interest that serves the entire nation. It is not a general interest. It is not a national interest. It is a personal interest. If anybody at all wants this man to still be president after he has been president for 42 years, and mind you guys, it is not as if Cameroon is such a beautiful, amazing place with infrastructures. If not of the beautiful natural resources we have been blessed with, Cameroon will have nothing to write home about. We are richly blessed with natural resources. Fauna and the flora of Cameroon is mightily rich and mightily blessed. We have subspecies of animals and plants which you find nowhere in the world except in Cameroon. We are immensely blessed with natural resources. Nature has been so generous to us. Nature has been so kind to us. We have beautiful touristic sites, natural touristic sites. A part of these things, this gift which Mother Nature has blessed us with, the development which human brings, the development which government brings, you see not much about it in Cameroon. You see almost nothing about it in Cameroon. It is nothing to write home about. The roads, the hospital, the system, the banking system, like we are underdeveloped in Cameroon. Yet we are very rich in natural resources. Coming to the opponent of the presidential election, Jacob Bakari. My intake, my personal opinion is that the colonial master knows the feeling that Africans are having towards him now. I'm talking of France. The anti-France feeling has been growing so massively, so popular in Africa and around Africa's in the diaspora. So many Africans are waking up, are rising against France. So many Africans are shouting out, are calling out France to back off Africa business. Not only France, other countries as well. But I'm sticking on here on this particular country because they are the ones standing at the front line. So youths, African youths in Cameroon and around Africa and in the diaspora have had their eyes on France and what France has been doing in Africa. And more people are becoming aware of this. More and more people are talking about this. More and more people are looking into this. More and more the anti-France, more and more the anti-France feeling is growing. So I think France has a strategy. Everybody is expecting Paul Biya to win the election naturally, as he has always been winning. You vote or you don't vote, he wins. So, I think the wolf might want to play a new game around when people are expecting Paul Biya to naturally win, and so everybody will say, we know who is behind this. They want to bring in somebody which they have taken the time to train, which they have already transferred all agreements to him, and then make this new person the president. Or it might not even be Bakari, it might just be a totally new person which we did not even think about, which we did not even imagine will come up as the president. And then that will make people not to be so alarmed. That will make people not to be not to have their eyes on the wolf. Whereas in the shadow, in the background, they are the world. The person winning is not this person to hold us because we think he is fit to hold us. There is no such person. At the end of tonight or tomorrow, when we'll have the result, if Paul Biya or not Paul Biya or Chiroma or whosoever comes up, we know who is behind it. In all this, we stay positive. In all this, we stay hopeful. In all this, we blaze up. In all this, we form ourselves. Shadow, we don't give up. We shall get there to that point where we will completely clean off the parasite of our skin. And when we clean the parasite off our skin, we're also gonna ask the parasite to return back to us, to pay and to compensate for all the destruction, for all the atrocities which it has been committing onto our body, onto our system for centuries. Stay tuned.